Hello and welcome to another exciting LEGO build and review. Today I've got the Star Wars 75183 LEGO playset. We're all in the know now, so I don't need to waste time by actually saying what it's called. Just the numbers are enough. Or it's not written on this side of the box, and I have to turn around and see what it's called. It's Darth Vader transformation. You know in Revenge of the Jedi? No, Revenge of the Sith. It's Return of the Jedi. In Revenge of the Sith, when Palpatine remakes Anakin into Darth Vader in that quite dark room, this is that scene in LEGO form. I know what you're thinking. Did anyone ask for that? Not really, but that's what we've got. I like how it's 7:12 as well. Is it? It's quite a grim scene actually. I've got my knife ready. Don't need it. This is a punch box to open. Or just one's enough. I have enough force that I only need to do it once. Feel obligated to keep the boxes for the larger sets, but not so much for smaller ones. Right. Wow. 2 bags. That is an all-time low. So bag 1 is a ring, bag 2 is all of the things. And confusingly, it said on the box there are only 3 minifigs, but according to this, there are in fact 4, and you get the Doctor robot as well, so I feel like we've won there. How many pages are we looking at? I could just throw this together now, but I'm not going to do that. I'll do it quickly, then we'll cut back to here. I'll probably be nicely cleanly shaven at the very least, and we'll have a look at the set and what it actually entails. There seems to be a version of Vader where he's got his helmet off and he has got the burnt face. I look forward to that the most. Well, that was an easy enough process. It was only 282 pieces, didn't take too long to build. Let's get straight into it. I would normally start with the minifigs, but I've decided to start with the actual main event, the transformation scene. So you can see here, you got Anakin all burnt up and horrible. Through various medical process, boom, he gets turned into Darth Vader. And the last step is the helmet going on. Now, it's 50-50 whether this will actually work. You sort of gently apply the helmet, and it should. Yes, it's worked. And then the Emperor comes to inspect his handiwork. Now, if you remember in the film, what happens next is he asks about Padme, I think, and he's all like, "Oh, it seemed in your rage you've killed her," and he screams out, "No!" But you know, deeper and more impressive. And then he uses the Force, and this happens. All right, you ready for this? This is quite a spectacular showing of the Force. Boom, that falls down. Boom, that also falls down. I didn't even realise this was a thing when I was building it. But these are only like sort of attached by one piece in here, and if you get it right, they'll fly the right way. I'm yet to get it right. All right, let's look up closer. So this is the medical droid, the DocBot, I think. I don't actually know what it's specifically called, but he's got 6 working-ish arms. You can see they've all got different tools on them. There's a little socket spanner, regular spanner, adjustable spanner, oil can, my favourite, an electric drill, which has hilarious implications. And I'm not really sure what this one is. This sort of grey loop, but it's pleasing nonetheless. It kind of looks like something you'd use just to hold nuts in place, but equally that's a spanner. So I don't know. Or a wrench, if you're an American. I think that's what they call them. Pop that there. There's this little guy, who's not really a minifig. He's just a sort of medical droid. He looks a little bit like IG-88 because of the head, but he can hold 2 tools. He has this weird third leg, which I suspect, if I look in the film closely, that there is a thing that has a third leg like that. Okay, I've just ripped his legs off. I thought maybe I could rotate it into a more sensible position, maybe like that, like a tail. Is that a thing? I'm not sure. Either way, he's got a hammer and chisel, which I don't know what the implication there is. Oh, just ripped off what he was stood on. Put that back in place. So there's Emperor Palpatine. He's got a material cape, which is oddly pleasing and works surprisingly well. Capes are hard to do. The hood works well as well. I've given him 2 lightsabers. When Darth Vader's finished, he will presumably hand him a lightsaber. In fact, now that I look at it, this piece here also has 2 lightsabers attached as though ready to use. I don't know what the gist of that is. I think basically, if you get given a set with any kind of lightsaber in it, they give you a bunch of spare lightsabers. I think because they're easy to lose. He's quite a cool little minifig. He's got an off-color face, which you know, if he was white, he'd be yellow, because he's not. He's actually no, white are white now, aren't they? Who's yellow anymore in Lego? Well, it doesn't matter. Darth Vader, very pleasing. He's got the same fabric cape as Palpatine. Detailing on the chest works well enough. And then the helmet, which you can take off in 2 parts, so you can have him, so he's still got the kind of the collar rough bit on, which works quite well. And the helmet itself, it looks pretty good. That's undeniably Vader. And the slightly debatable inclusion of burnt up Anakin Skywalker, well, he is technically Darth Vader at this point. The thing is, he's been burnt there, and in the film, when Obi-Wan does burn him, or causes him to burn, I think he does lose most of his limbs, or he flips over Obi-Wan cuts off his limbs, and then he causes to burn. Either way, I think he has only 1 arm and no legs. Or at least like half his legs are gone, which I think they're trying to show on this by the grey at the bottom of his legs, implying that they're not really there, or at least they're ashen. And then like both his hands are grey because one of them was robotic or cyborg or whatever anyway. So but it's quite a cool figure to have. And of particular note is the facial expression he does. It's just a very sort of blank expression. It's the same one that Vader has. In fact, I think if you look at it, they do have the same head. I'm looking closely. Yes, they actually just have the same head. That's not quite the detail that I now realise. They were just saving money by doing that. This bit here where the helmet sticks on, these little bits, they're made of rubber. So this just sort of jams in there and sits softly. It's quite impressive they actually got the mechanism to work, and it does work. I thought it would be like it works every now and again, but so far the 4 or 5 times I've done this, it's worked every time. I'm not so sure about this making these fall off like that. Cool as it is, I feel I'd prefer it if they were on some sort of system where like you did the crank, and there'd be a separate one, you'd crank it and then everything would all go at once, and it would be somewhat more reversible. But equally, you know, that probably wouldn't look as good. It's somehow more impactful when everything just sort of goes everywhere like that, depending on how much force you put on. This little guy here, I wasn't really sure what he was for a while, but I now realise that this stick he's on is supposed to be invisible and imply that he's floating. And there's these sort of floating Dr. Bot things. The most memorable I can think of is in A New Hope, the interrogation droid that he brings in to interrogate Leia. and we never really hear the backstory or ending of that in the film, and it's a bit of a weird scene going back because he tortures his daughter. You can put these on either side, it's fine. Let's just rebuild the tableau to finish. So retail price for this, £20. It's not too bad. It's probably a little bit on the higher end, because for that same money, I'm pretty sure Yoda's ship was about that. And although this has a lot more going on part-wise and sort of fig-wise, short for minifigure, of course, you can't really do a whole lot with it. You can reenact the scene, which, whilst hilarious, only has a certain amount of play to it. Come on, work for me. There we are. It doesn't clip in. That's why it works so successfully. Let's give him a proper lightsaber, just to there. Rise, Lord Vader. That's how he says it, isn't it? Something like that. This bit of twisty. There's one gear does the round and the up and down like that. You can twist it up to about here. Any further, and it won't twist. It will just rotate slightly. I'd kind of like it if you could have it rotating right up to the top. I don't know how doable that would be. I'm no expert in these things, but it's what I would like. I feel their job is to bend these things to my will. So I want it to be a revolving thing here. Then I could reenact hilarious scenes from Scooby-Doo or whatever where they have a revolving fireplace, but that's just me. I think my genuine highlight from this set is it's dumb, but it's these two droids and the all the tools they have. There's no sort of set thing to how you have them, but it's just the implication that Vader's been rebuilt, not by any kind of real medical science, but just by spanners and drills and an oil can. It's humorous to me. Always have Lego figures bending slightly back. It makes them somehow much funnier in my mind. So that was the, what was it called? Is that really terrible name? Yeah, Darth Vader transformation. The Lego Darth Vader transformation. It doesn't have much of a ring to it, is it? There's no art in the science. It's very specific to it. But it is quite pleasing just to do that. It's one of those things where you'll show someone the set and you'll be like, yeah, and watch this. Boom. See? It doesn't ever really want to go the way you want it to. I think this one, if I balance it out this way, no, it always seems to go forward. That's the only thing. It needs to go backwards. Yeah. I mean, there's no real way of making it go backwards because the propulsion's coming from those directions, and it should go out. That would be my only annoyance. And also, this doesn't get thrown out. Or does it? No, it doesn't. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.